Hello you guys and welcome to my channel. Today's video is another story time. I am banging out these story times for you guys. I have a lot of stories. I waited to make my YouTube channel for so many years. I wanted to do YouTube for so many years. I can make a story time on that if you want, why I waited, why I didn't, why everything. But today's video is going to be all about the worst thing I've ever done, in my opinion. And to be honest, it's not that bad. I was a pretty good kid. I like to think I'm a pretty good human, but this is definitely up there in the worst things I've ever done. So yeah, let's just go right into this video. So I want to preface this by saying, do as I say, not as I do. Do not retaliate. Do not fight fire with fire. It'll make sense in a second, but do not fight fire with fire, do not retaliate, everything like that. Stay in your lane, mind your business, ignore the haters, and that's it. So let's begin. I was in grade 9. I almost said we because there's more than just me involved. I think we were all in grade 9. We were all in the same grade. And there was this girl who moved to our elementary school back in grade 4 or 5, and she had... This is where it gets a little dicey because I never ever want to say I was bullied, but this girl picked on me. This girl purposely went out of her way to pretend to be my friend, but to treat me like trash. And she treated me like trash. Like this person treated me like trash, threw me in the dumpster, ran me over with the dump truck. Like, this girl was a terrible human being from the day that I met her. And so anyway, she came to our school in grade 4 or 5, maybe 6, and then we all moved to the high school and whatever. She became really good friends, like actual friends, with one of my best friends. And she did her ways, started making lies about me, started saying that I was talking trash about my best friend or one of my best friends. Like, she was just a terrible human being, and she was doing what terrible people do. And so we have 10-minute break at my high school, and so the 10-minute break, there was snack in the cafeteria you could go and buy for like $1, $1.25 or whatever. I had bought her a few of those $1.25s, and she always said that she would pay me back. She eventually did. I will say that she eventually did, but it took her months. Like, I think I bought her maybe one a week for 4 months, something like that. And in my mind, I'm just being a good person. I'm being a good friend. She forgot her money that day. I'll just pay me back. It's fine. It's only $1.25. $1.25 adds up. By the end of it, I think she owed me like $20, $25, something like that. But that's beside the point. After all of this happened, she paid me back. So one day she was telling lies, and like I wasn't really friends with my one of my best friends, like that friend at the time, and I wasn't really associating with her anymore. We were on the same sports team, and I had a bag of chips before practice one day, and she's like, "You eat a lot. You shouldn't be eating like that. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that." And like, she was calling me fat, like, to my face, and I'm just like, at least you're not saying it behind my back this time. So after that practice, next day at school, I was sitting with some more of my good friends, and the friend that the girl, I should give names so this makes more sense. No, I can't think of names. The terrible human and my friend weren't in this class, but me and 3 other friends were in this class together, and we were in the computer lab for something. I can't remember if it was computer class or if we were just in there for, I don't know what we were in there for. But we were typing, and so I went over to one of my good friends, who is still my good friend to this day, and was like telling her what the terrible human said to me the day before at practice. And she's like, oh, I know, she's just so terrible, like she did this to me, and like she told everybody this about me. And we got talking about our hatred for this human. And then the two girls sitting beside us joined in because they overheard. And we were talking quiet because the teacher was in the room and like our entire class was in the room, and we didn't want to start something, but like we were heated because we all had like similar-ish experiences. Like we all had a bad experience with this girl. And so one of the girls in the computer lab started writing a note saying the girl's name: you have no friends, you are a terrible human, you shouldn't come to school here, you make our lives miserable, you this, you that, blah 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 blah. You get it. It was like a hate note, specifically portraying her hatred mainly, but all of our hatreds. And we didn't put our names on the note. I honestly didn't think that anything was going to happen on the note. I thought it was going to be deleted, said, done, whatever. They ended up printing it out with her work. I think it was actually an English class because we were typing a paper or something. And so the teacher didn't question it, printed the note out at school, and one of the other girls told us she was going to put it in her locker. And we didn't stop her. We were like, okay, cool, like whatever. And she put it in her locker. Now, surprisingly, I thought these cameras were fake, but our school has cameras in the hallway. So my friend, she put the note in the locker. I don't know how she knew which locker was hers, if it was beside hers or whatever. Put the note in her locker. We all have separate lockers, so it's not like she could have confused it for her locker mate's note or whatever. After school, this terrible human comes. Actually, I missed a part. I walk up to, like, I asked to go to the bathroom after she said, oh, I put it in her locker. I went to see if she actually put it in her locker. I was like looking in the little cracks, and she actually put it in her locker, and I was tempted to try and get it out, but I didn't. So like even though I didn't write it, I didn't put it in her locker. Me and the fourth girl are just as guilty as the two that actually did the act, because we didn't stop it. You know what I mean? Like, we were accomplices. We didn't stop the act. So then after school, I got a phone call from my good friend who was good friends with this terrible human, and she comes up to me bawling, and she's like, did you have anything to do with this note? Did you have anything to do with it? Like, please just tell me the truth. And I was like, I didn't write it, but yeah, I knew about it. And she just starts bawling, she hugs me, whatever. And so I phoned the other three, and I'm like, her mom is at the school, like, we gotta fess up, or else, like, we're all gonna get caught anyway. It's gonna be easier on us if we just confess. And so we hauled our ass to the office, and the principal was in a meeting. I almost think it was, like, with the mom, maybe? I don't know. But the principal was in a meeting, so we just told the office girls, we're like, hey, we're here to talk about the note. And she's like, do you know who did it? And we're like, yeah, we all did. And it was really embarrassing because the office lady is my best friend's aunt. So I'm just like, yeah, it was us. And so we go home, we each tell our parents. My one friend, her parents were threatening to send her to a boarding school because she was getting in trouble a lot at the time, but like excessive. And then like my parents were like, why would you do that? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why? Little did they know all the torture and bullshit that she put me through. But anyway, we'll get on to that part. And so the next day, me and my good friend, still to this day, we get called down to the office during first period, and we get called into the principal's office one at a time. And I think I was first. And so I just sat down and I was like, told them what happened. Exactly. We all told each other we were telling the truth. obviously, because like our stories would get mixed up. But anyway, so I told him the whole story, and he's like, why? And I'm like, why what? And he's like, why would you do that? So I told him what she did to me. And then the vice principal comes into the room, and he just looks at her and is like, she says this goes back all the way to grade 6. Like, that's all he had to say. Like, he didn't... My school system was complete trash, complete bullshit. I can't even explain to you my hatred for the school and the school system that I was put through. But he didn't care what she did to me. He didn't care what she did to any of us. Because we got caught, even though we confessed. So we weren't really caught. We turned ourselves in. But he didn't care. And she got off scot-free, even though the whole truth, nothing but the truth, was spilled out in front of him. She was fine. Like, she's the victim here, which she was. But, like, we're also... Anyway, so then my other friend gets hauled in. I get told I can go back and sit down in the office part. And then we get sentenced to in-school suspension. And which in-school suspension is like fine. But like, we all went in one by one, and then we all get said, 2 of you are going to do in-school blah 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 blah. 2 of you are going to do in-school suspensions today. 2 of you are going to do it tomorrow. By this point, by the time we all like went into the office and then came back, and it was almost lunch anyway, so me and my friend, we hopped on to the today suspension real quick. That's it. We just did our schoolwork in the sick bay. And like literally that's it. We got an in-school suspension for being mean to the person who had been mean to us for years. Like, I don't even have words. But like usually when you get an in-school suspension or any suspension, you're not allowed to go on band trip. I think 3 out of 4 of us were in band, and then the girl that we sent the note to was also in band. So me and the other 2 girls shared a room on band trip. They let us go on band trip because it was just an in-school suspension. I think they did kind of take in the fact that this girl had been mean to us for years and nobody would listen to us. I didn't personally tell anybody she was mean to us for years, but I know some of the other girls, like at least one of the other girls that wrote the note or was a part of it, had went to the office about her before and they just wouldn't do anything. So I think they were a little bit lenient with us because of that. So we went on band trip. I shared a room with 2 out of 3 of the girls who were involved in the notes with me. And the girl we sent the note to hung out with us the entire time. The entire time. Her mom came on the band trip as a chaperone, and she got special permission to stay with her mom. And then she ended up hanging out with us the entire time anyway. Do I regret this? No. Not in the slightest. Every time I think about it, no. Like, everybody started to like her more after because we called her out on her bullshit. She started to be a better person. She ended up moving a year and a half later, but I haven't seen her in like 6 years, 7 years, something like that. So that is the worst thing I would say I've ever done. Worst thing that I can think of anyway. If I think of anything worse, I will make a new video. But this story was all about the time I fought fire with fire and got in trouble for it. And yeah, so that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I post videos every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.